My name is Zainab, and I am almost graduating Schulich. I have one course left, and but technically I'm a 2020 grad. I went on exchange this past semester to Aix-en-Provence in France, and throughout university I did an internship in accounting, but also in marketing, and now I've started my own business with through an accelerator, and that is currently where I am today. So Next 36 is the accelerator that I was part of this summer. It is the largest North American accelerator. And what it does is it basically helps you get your startup to where it's supposed to be. But the way they do it is in a very founder focused a way where they're trying to make you the best founder, and it's okay if you don't come with an idea or your startup isn't the best, because they really work on you. So they teach you all the skills needed to become the best entrepreneur you could possibly be by coaching you, by teaching you with advisors and mentors and world-renowned professors from Harvard and MIT. And you're also surrounded by 36 other entrepreneurs that are kind of going through the same thing. So what this means is that if you are kind of struggling through something, somebody somewhere has gone through it at one point, and they'll be able to help you through it. So it's an entire summer filled with just kind of focusing on your business, and you get to pitch to investors and really be a part of this network that's a very extensive network. So the applications to get into Next 36 actually close on October 1st. And what I can help you with is your application, or if you are kind of unsure about if you're a good fit for the program, I do have a Calendly link where you can book an appointment with me. Reach out to me on Facebook, reach out to me on LinkedIn. I am more than happy to help you out through the application, but it does close on October 1st. So if you would want to just kind of know more about the program, besides everything that you've read online, get a personal experience, I can help you kind of go through that. So PlayCoco is a tech startup that I created this summer. And what it does is it enables social interaction amongst remote workers through games. So something that we've all kind of realize and experience firsthand is the loneliness of quarantine and kind of just being alone without our friends. But the second thing that we didn't really realize is that our lives have kind of become a little bit stagnant, or we don't really have much to talk about. Everything that we do in our daily lives have just been kind of at home. We're talking to the same people, talking about the same things. So what we realized during quarantine was to bring context back into the conversation, we were closer together when we started playing games. And something that remote workers always face is that they always feel this loneliness, they always feel this isolation amongst the workers that are in office. So we wanted to create this way to connect the remote workers to everybody else, but then also reduce loneliness through web games that they could play during work times. So they'd be short, really short mini games that you could play with your coworkers, like a digital foosball table. And so that's how the idea came about with my first-hand experience of going through quarantine, but then this is where it is now. And that's kind of the entire gist of it. My favorite thing about being an entrepreneur is meeting and talking to the most interesting people that I've ever been privy to. So this is a whole different circle that I didn't even know about. There's so many ways to go about it, and to become an entrepreneur and the ideas that you hear and the hardships that you face, but then also like the really inspiring moments, it's been the biggest highlight, just be a part of this at all. So yeah. The Schulich Startups Community has been by far one of my favorite things to be a part of. I would have, in my university career, I would have started another business just to be a part of it sooner, because it's absolutely amazing. The people who are a part of it, Chris, Vito, and then also the startups that are a part of it, like Amy from Heartcade, or Eric D'Souza, or Front Row Ventures. It's just been the most helpful and supportive community. I message Chris nonstop. He messages me and sends me all these articles and links that I could apply to, but then everybody's really helpful. There's Keith Liu, who is entrepreneur extraordinaire, knows everything about everything. So being a part of it, being like a face of it, being on the Idea Jam tonight, everything is just really, really helpful. And I've gotten some of the best connections through just being a part of this community. So, I mean, the reason a lot of people do start their own businesses is because they can't stand the bureaucracy. They can't stand the hours, the time that you kind of put into something that sometimes doesn't even come to fruition. And also the impact that you kind of create in a large corporation is not sometimes as much as you want to. And those are all things that I kind of realized when I was working through my various internships. Additionally, these weren't exactly my fit. I wouldn't say that they're not fit for everybody. I think they have their own stance, and I think those are very hardworking jobs and hardworking people in those jobs and careers. It just wasn't for me in the time that I am here. Also, another thing to note is that there's no better time for me to start a company than it is just after graduation. And a lot of people disagree with me on that, but I am at the position where responsibility isn't a lot, and I don't mind taking a couple of risks here and then. I know that if I wanted to, I could kind of reach out and try to get a job again, hopefully later if that's what I want to do. But overall, I think the pros are just that you get to make an impact, you get to do something that you really like doing, and you get to learn way faster, way quicker than any time in a corporation. But then there's no structure. So it's a lot of willpower, and just making sure that it's just you know? So I think that is the biggest con. It's just making sure that you're managing your own time. But overall, I think the pros do outweigh the cons. So I would 100% suggest, if you are thinking of starting your own business in school, to do that, especially at Schulich. Like I mentioned, the community at Schulich is one of the best university communities to start our own business. We also have Lassonde, the engineering school that would be able to find a tech co-founder if you need help. There's a lot of resources while you're still in school, and this is something that really, really teaches you about business more than any of your classes probably would. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, the risk that you're going to take now might seem riskier than maybe later on when you're comfortable, but that's actually untrue. Eventually you get your life kind of sheltered around this comfiness, and you might never start something that you'd always wanted to. I think it's always something that somebody should do to realize if it's for them or not for them. And there are so many opportunities right out of university, like Next 36 and Techstars and YC, that can really push you to become like the best person, and the best entrepreneur.